Hello, Scorpios, and welcome to this, your May 1st through May 15th reading. We're going to have a look at some influential energies. We're going to have a look at what's coming up for you, have a look at where you're at now as I record this video here at the end of April. This video is directed at anyone born under the sign of Scorpio, as well as anyone else who has a significant amount of Scorpio in their charts. For those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. For those of you who are new here, I work with a number of different oracle card decks as well as tarot decks, and I pull all of the cards at once and I leave them all face down. The reason that I leave them face down is because it allows for more of the intuitive and psychic energies to flow in rather than me seeing the cards ahead of time and being able to jump ahead and jump around in your reading. Now, I do jump around. Once the cards are actually turned over, I will refer back to the cards that have already been read. For those of you who are returning, you may notice that my background has changed. I look like I'm glowing blue. I think that in the process of moving, my son and I have moved, and we're in a temporary location. We will be moving again. My next video will have a different background again. You can probably hear some wind chimes. There is going to be a little bit of background noise in this video. I do apologize, but it's the nature of being nomadic. Okay, let's get started. Scorpio, where are you now? All right. Where are the Scorpios at now? Both those cards decided to come out. Okay. So anything else? Do have a bit of a frog in my throat. The weather changed overnight. Yesterday we had temperatures in the 30s Celsius, and today it's 7 degrees Celsius. Okay. Those two cards. All right. Scorpio, the next card that I'm going to pull for you is the card of what you are focusing on. Going over here to the Osho Zen. What are the Scorpios focusing on May 1st through the 15th, 2023? Now, you'll notice that the cards are going into my hand crazy. Look at, oh, two cards just jumped out as I went to begin to shuffle again. We're concentrating on the focus. What are the Scorpios focusing on? Is there anything else? Okay. All right. The next cards that we're going to pull are cards of difficult influence. I just had a glimpse of this come through in my head. My old cheater tarot deck that I learned on. I still go back to it sometimes. All right, difficult influences for the Scorpios, May 1st through the 15th. We're going to have to go through the deck a second time. I think so. Yeah. Okay. We'll flip through the deck a second time here. There's your card. One of them anyway. I think that might have fallen out reversed as well. Just the way it came out of the deck. Is there anything else for difficult influences for the Scorpios here? May 1st. Yeah, there we go. One more. Anything else? Yeah, okay. So we do have two cards that have come out. The next card that we're going to pull, Scorpio, is a card that just makes sense. Now, the card that just makes sense, or cards, if more than one decides to jump out for us, the cards that just make sense are cards that either have identical meanings to another card somewhere in your reading, thus giving you reinforcement or kind of the double meaning of that card. It's letting you know that that message of the card that came out is really super important. The other thing that the This Makes Sense card can do for us is oftentimes, because I use cards that jump out rather than pulling cards off the top of the deck, is that sometimes 5, 6, even 7 cards can pop out. And when that happens, Scorpio, the initial part of the reading may come off as being very, very scattered and like it doesn't all kind of tie in together. And the This Makes Sense card will be a card that begins to tie everything together for us. So where are we going for This Makes Sense? May 1st through 15th for Scorpio. We're going over here. This makes sense. Oh, there's one. This makes sense. There's another one. So, oh, 2 more. Wow. Okay. So let me just collect these cards up in the order in which they came out. And we're going to leave them sitting face down. The next card that we're going to pull for you, Scorpio, is the card of unexpected influences, unexpected insights. What is coming up as unexpected for you? May 1st through May 15th, 2023. Unexpected. What is unexpected for Scorpio? And I do think, oh, is that one coming out? Yeah. All right. Is there anything else? I do think that there's supposed to be one more card here. I'm going to go through this deck one more time for you, Scorpio, because I do sense that there's more than one card intended to be here for you. Yeah, there we go. Kind of sense that. And nothing else pops out here. We'll go that the intuition was definitely correct. Okay. Okay. The final card that we're going to pull for you, Scorpio, is the card of outcome. The general overall outcome for this reading, and the general overall outcome card is going to be a card of projecting or predicting where you're going to be at and what energies are going to be influencing you come May 15th. If you are curious about timing with regards to psychic readings and tarot readings, I encourage you to go back and watch the April 1st through April 15th reading for your sign. In the April 1st through April 15th readings, I went into great detail about why sometimes the timing for psychic readings or tarot cards does not add up. So if the timing of this doesn't appear to quite add up, you know, if something happens to come in on May the 12th instead of April or May the 15th, if something doesn't happen right on May the 15th as predicted, there are a number of different reasons why. And like I said, I go into great detail the April 1st through April 15th video. So I encourage you to check that out if you're curious. Where are we going for general overall outcome? We are going back over here. I'm getting told that I might be pulling a no-show Zen for this as well. General overall outcome. And the cards are getting messy again. They're going to fall. Yep. Down they go. Okay. Okay, so we do have 2 cards here. Just give me a second to tap back in. Yep, I can see an Osho Zen sitting on top there. Outcome. Oh, these are coming out messy again. Okay. Oh, that was weird. Half the deck came out. Yeah, maybe we're not going to clarify this. Oh, yep, there we go. As soon as I say something, then the cards decide that they're going to pop out, right? Okay. Where are you at now, Scorpio? You have the 10 of Winter, also known as the 10 of Swords. You have the Prince of Autumn, also known as the Prince of Pentacles, and the Lovers. All right. So, Scorpio, I can tell you after having recorded several of the other zodiac signs, the Lovers card has come out. You are the fourth or maybe even fifth zodiac sign this reading, this cycle for the May 1st through May 15th. Lovers, 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 lovers. Love is in the air. Must be something about the springtime. Relationships are coming out big. Yeah, there's so much going on right now. We've just come through an eclipse, Mercury going retrograde. We're in Taurus season. So yeah, there's kind of a lot of energies going on, and that's going to affect a lot of our relationships. So the first card here is the 10 of Winter, also known as the 10 of Swords. And this is a card of things are starting to turn around. It's a card of, it seems as though you've been going through a rough time and things are starting to resolve. Difficulties are starting to, fade into the background. I would describe it as, yeah, just difficulties are starting to fade into the background for you. You've come through a difficult time, Scorpio. The next card is the Prince of Autumn, also known as the Prince of Pentacles. Now, we know that the Pentacles suit deals with job or career, as well as money and finances. And so this card is a card of being cautious. Be cautious when it comes to money and finances. Do not be frivolous with your money at this time, Scorpio. And again, we've got the Lovers card. This is about relationships. So I'm going to touch on, because generally there are three categories of people. Three, yeah, I can count honestly. Okay. There's typically three categories. The first one being those people who are already in committed relationships. When the Lovers card appears in a reading and you are already in a relationship, it's an indication that something new and exciting is going to happen in your relationship. Usually it's a change or a shift in the direction of your relationships. So perhaps you're not engaged yet. It could be an upcoming engagement. If you're already in a very long-term committed relationship, it could be an indication that your partner has something new and fun and exciting that they want to try, that they're going to take you out for a nice dinner, something like this, where it changes the energy that's between you in a positive way. The next category of people is those who are single and seeking. When the Lovers card comes in, it's an indication that if you are seeking, your lover is on the horizon, or perhaps you've already just met them and you're in the early stages of romance. And the third category is for people who are single and not seeking. People who are like, nope, I'm done in that category. I am not going down that aisle again. And for those people, when the Lovers card appears, it's an indication that someone special is going to come into your life, not necessarily in a romantic capacity, but in the capacity of friend, confidant, or mentor. So for those of you who are single and not seeking, watch for someone new to come into your life who can fill that role in your life of being close friend, confidant, and mentor. So definitely this is where you're at now. These are the cards of where you're at now here as I record this video, Scorpio, at the end of April. And so this is an indication that for some of you, this is already influencing your lives. These changes and shifts are happening. You're already in that place where you do not want to be being frivolous with your money. You need to be cautious with your money, and where there is a resolution to something difficult that you've been through. And the resolution has already, perhaps it hasn't 100% manifested in your life, but it's presented itself to you. Let's have a look at, wow, you have You have two more major arcana cards here, Scorpio. So really powerful energies. You have the 15 card here, which is the conditioning card, and you have the aloneness card, and the aloneness card corresponds to the hermit. This card corresponds to the devil in the traditional tarot. So let's read these two together. These are the cards of your focus, what you are focusing on May 1st through May 15th, Scorpio. The first card is the conditioning card, or the devil, as it's known in the traditional tarot. And what this card is telling me at this time, Scorpio, you are looking at your current conditioning. You're looking at, does this serve my highest good? This is where you begin to question societal norms against your own inner being and your own moral compass. Okay. Now, for some of us, our own moral compass aligns perfectly with society's norms. But for others, we look at society's norms. We reach that point in our lives where we look at society's norms and we go, that's not working for me. Why do we do things that way? That's what the conditioning card is about. We have been conditioned to accept certain things. We've been conditioned that our children go to school starting at the age of 4 or 5, and they go to school until they're 17 or 18, and that is their education. From there, we have been conditioned that everybody has to go to post-secondary if they want to be a success in life. I'm throwing out examples, right? We have been conditioned that monogamy is the only way. Now, I understand that some of what I'm throwing out there is controversial, but that's what the devil brings up for us. The devil brings up for us the questioning, the hard questions. Is monogamy right for me or not? Chances are, for the vast majority, it is, especially considering you've got the Lovers card coming in here, Scorpio. But there are people, a portion of the population that looks at monogamy and goes, is that right for me or not? There's a portion of the population that goes, is the traditional education system correct for my child and my family or not? Is there an alternative? These are the tough questions, and this is what you are focusing on May 1st through 15th, Scorpio. The other card that you have in your focus is the Hermit, or the aloneness card. What does this tell me? In order for you to be asking these difficult questions, and in order for you to be in that place of not only asking the questions, but going within, right here in the heart, right here in the gut and the stomach and the solar plexus, what's right for me, what rings true for me. In order for you to do this work, you're going to have to go into this place of aloneness. You're going to have to go into the hermit mode in your life. You will have to pull back a little bit. You can't be out there being the social butterfly. You know, in all honesty, being out there being the social butterfly is a way of us to distract ourselves from doing this work right here. Okay, so from May 1st through May 15th, you are focusing on these two things. And that's actually a positive, because that's where the growth happens. Let's have a look at your difficult influences. Okay, both of your difficult influences came out in the reverse. You've got the Emperor and you've got the Ace of Pentacles coming out. In reverse, the Emperor is that you may be in conflict with the established order, with the established way of doing things, with societal norms. Hello? Right? The conditioning, or the devil card, is all about questioning societal norms. What rings true for you in your heart and in your solar plexus? Difficult influences. You are at odds with societal norms right now, Scorpio. And that's not really surprising. I mean, this card could have come up and this makes sense, because it makes perfect sense. If you've got the devil in your focus, if you've got conditioning in your focus, you're definitely at odds with the norms. And the other card that you have is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles upright is new beginnings with regards to work, job, career, finances, money, increases in money, a new job scheme, perhaps moving from traditional work into self-employment. Oh, wait, isn't that part of conditioning, Scorpio? Right? We're told from when we're very little, we have to go to school, we have to go to post-secondary, we have to get a good job, we have to work for the machine. Does that ring true for you? Or does self-employment work for you? These are the tough questions that you're focusing on right now. And this Ace of Pentacles in the upright is all about new beginnings with regards to work or career. But right now, this card is saying that you're struggling or bumping up against that because it came up in the reverse in your difficult influences. And so you're questioning new beginnings with regards to work or finances, and you're having a good look at it. You are in the process of creating something new. When the ace appears, whether it's reversed or whether it's upright, it's about creating something new. But it's a question of which perspective and which direction you are coming from to create that something new, right? And this in your difficult influence is saying you're bumping up against some morals. You're bumping up against society. And the Emperor has the exact same message for you. In your This Makes Sense. I'm laughing. Your This Makes Sense. You have the mountain. The mountain is all about setting intentions and then climbing the mountain. Okay. When we begin to explore our conditioning, when we begin to do this devil work, yeah, there's a good chance we're going to bump into societal norms. But when we set our intentions and we get really clear about our intentions, and this can also be pertaining to the lovers, what do we want to bring in? What are we manifesting? We have to set our intentions and we have to be really, really clear about it. And we have to do that with an intensity, right? This makes sense that you've got the community card coming up, because I think as much as you have the Hermit here in your focus, and you are going to have to spend a period of time hermiting and spending some time alone, May 1st through 15th, Scorpio, I think that ultimately some of your answers are going to come from community, but they're not going to come from community until such time as you get really, really clear on what it is that you want. What rings true for you? What is in your heart, your soul, and your spirit? And when you get clear on that, guess what's going to happen? Your community is actually going to appear. So this card actually has two meanings for you right now, Scorpio. This is what's coming up for me intuitively, is that when you set your intentions and you get really clear about potentially some new directions in your life, what's going to happen is new community is going to appear to you to come in and help and support you. But the other side of the coin is that certain aspects of the community that you felt was always going to be there for you is also going to walk away from you. Because when you rock the boat and you bump into those societal norms, when you explore your conditioning and your conditioning no longer aligns with the vast majority of society, which I suspect is happening for you right now, Scorpio, some community is going to walk away from you as well. The final card you have in This Makes Sense is the Eagle. The Eagle always has the vision or the perspective from above. That's what you're doing right now. With this conditioning card coming up, with you exploring all of this right now, Scorpio, you now have the capacity to see both sides of the coin, and you have the capacity to see things from a higher perspective and see things clearly. And this will help you to make those tough decisions about your conditioning. We're going to have a look at your unexpected insights. Unexpected insights. You have the Air Guardian, shift your perception. Remember I said that this makes sense cards a lot of the time pertain specifically to and have identical meanings to other cards in your reading? The eagle and vision, right? You want to shift your perspective. You want to see things from a higher perspective. There you go. There's your confirmation right there. When you see things from a different perspective, from a different perception, a different way of viewing things, life changes. And so this is coming up in your unexpected influences and insights. This is an indication that this is coming true for you. You are definitely seeing things differently. So doing this work, the alone work with regards to conditioning, is working for you. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Well, this card kind of makes sense. I mean, it's not from this makes sense, but it's unexpected influences and insights. It's not actually unexpected, because if you are challenging societal norms, if you are questioning your conditioning, guess what's going to happen? You don't have a choice but to move beyond ancestral patterns and let go of the past. You don't have a choice, because once you see things from this perspective all the way up here, once you see things from up here, you're going to change. You will change. And like I said, when you begin to change, your community is going to change as well. Both the people that have been around you will change and shift, and new people will step in. The last card that you have in your unexpected is set your sights higher. This card is not that unexpected, because when you change and you see things from a higher perspective, you shift your perception, you will absolutely set your sights higher. Because when you see things differently, then you see things higher, right? And set your sights higher also corresponds to this eagle card that you had. General overall outcome. Wow. Wow. Okay. General overall outcome. You have the world. The world is your oyster. The 21 card in the major arcana of the tarot is a card of completion. It's a card of success. It's a card of reaching those aha moments, seeing things more clearly, and being able to go, yeah, I am going to let go and leave things behind. Remember, I was called upon to pull an Osho Zen card to go along with the fairy cards for your final outcome. Now, here's how the cards actually came out for you. You have the world. In other words, success. You have reached that next level in your evolution, in your development, both spiritual and emotional development, in your growth. That's what this card is representing. And the very next card right next to this one is a card of new beginnings. This is the Ace of Cups. How exciting is that? That back to back. This is telling me that as you go through and you do this work, Scorpio, you're not going to have that kind of lull. A lot of people would have 2 or 3 cards in between the World card and the Ace of Cups card, saying that there's going to be this lull in this time of learning and this time of waffling and not knowing their direction. This is saying you're not going to experience this. Your general overall outcome is going to be, yes, success, spiritual growth, emotional growth. You're there. You've achieved this. You have broken away from the conditioning and societal norms that you wanted to break away from. I'm not saying, okay, I am not saying that you need to break everything, but I am saying that right now, what these cards are telling me is that there is something that is no longer resonating for you. It's no longer working for you in your life, Scorpio. One aspect, whether that be relationship, job, money, whether that be just your own emotional development or your own spiritual development, there is something that you are moving forward in. And when you achieve that, you've got this Ace of Cups coming along. Ace of Cups is about new beginnings, but specifically, This is about new emotional beginnings. New emotional beginnings. Open your heart to love. So as we began, so shall we end. You had the Lovers to begin your reading, and you're closing off with the Ace of Cups, Ace of Emotions, new beginnings, redefining who you are. And in order to do that, you need to let go of the past. All right. Thank you so much for being here again, Scorpio. I'm going to leave off your reading, and I hope that you'll join me again in mid-May for your next reading.